Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is WireDogSec, back with another video for you guys. Today's video, we are continuing on with TryHackMe Advent of Cyber 2024, and this is task number 18, web timing attacks, day 12. If I can't steal their money, I'll steal their joy. Hopefully, you're all ready to learn something today, so let's go ahead and dive into it. The story. Wareville's bank had a huge turnover this year and expected a massive profit before the holiday season. They were eager to disclose this news to the townspeople during the Sockmas celebrations. However, to their surprise, things went the other way around. After completing the annual calculations, the accountants were shocked to see a considerable loss. They observed discrepancies in the account balances. The bank called McSkitty to help investigate these users' fraudulent transactions. Upon analyzing the bank's website's transaction logs, McSkitty found some interesting transactions. A few users, including the mayor's team, initiated multiple transactions from Wareville's reserve accounts at once. Surprisingly, all these transactions succeeded despite exceeding the user's current balance. Glitch was already aware of the critical vulnerability, allowing these fraudulent transactions that Mayor malware and his alliances exploited. Okay, let's take a look here. Learning objectives. Understand the concept of race condition vulnerabilities. Identify the gaps introduced by HTTP2. Exploit race conditions in a controlled environment. Learn how to fix the race connected to the machine. And this is what we'll need today. We need the attack box and we need the VM, which I have already started both of them. So click on the Start button below in this text to start the virtual machine. After the virtual machine starts, click the Start on the attack box at the top. Okay, then you're going to navigate here, which I have already done inside of Firefox. As you can see there, it says take 1 to 2 minutes after the system boots to completely let the auto scripts run successfully. All right, so web timing and race conditions. Conventional web applications are relatively easy to understand, identify, and exploit. If there is an issue in the code of the web application, we can force the web application to perform an unintended action by sending specific inputs. These are easy to understand because there is usually a direct relationship between the input and output. We get bad output when we send bad data, indicating a vulnerability. But what if we can find vulnerabilities using only good data? What if it isn't about the data, but how we send it? This is where web timing and race condition attacks come into play. Let's dive into the crazy world and often hidden attack surface. In its simplest form, a web timing attack means we glean information from a web application by reviewing how long it takes to process our request, by making tiny changes in what we send or how we send it, and observing the response time. We can access information we are not authorized to have. Race conditions are a subset of web timing attacks that are even more special. With a race condition attack, we are no longer simply looking to gain access to information, but can cause the web application to perform unintended actions on our behalf. Web timing vulnerabilities can be incredibly subtle. Based on the following research, response time differences ranging from 1300 milliseconds to 5 nanoseconds have been used to stage attacks. Because of their subtle nature, they can also be hard to detect and often require a wide range of testing techniques. However, with the increase in the adoption of HTTP2, they have become a bit easier to find and exploit. Okay. The rise of HTTP2. HTTP2 was created as a major update for HTTP, the protocol used for web applications. While most web applications still use HTTP 1.1, there has been a steady increase in adoption of HTTP 2 as it is faster, better for web performance, and has several features that elevate the limitations of HTTP 1.1. However, if implemented incorrectly, some of these new features can be exploited by threat actors using new techniques. A key difference in web timing attacks between HTTP 1.1 and 2 is that 2 supports a feature called single packet multi-request. Network latency, the amount of time it takes for the request to reach the web server, made it difficult to identify web timing attacks. It was hard to know whether the time difference was due to a web timing vulnerability or simply a network latency difference. However, with the single packet multi-request, we can stack multiple requests in the same TCP packet, eliminating network latency from the equation, meaning time differences can be attributed to different processing times for the request. This is explained more in the animation below here. So if you take a look at this animation, you can see exactly what they're talking about here. So you can go ahead and review this animation here, and we are going to continue on with network latency, a thing of the past. Only server latency remains, making it significantly easier to detect timing issues and exploit them to discover sensitive information. Typical timing attacks. Timing attacks can often be divided into two main categories: information disclosures, leveraging the differences in response delays. A threat actor can uncover information they should not have access to. For example, timing differences can be used to enumerate the usernames of an application, making it easier to stage a password guessing attack and gain access to accounts. Race conditions. Race conditions are similar to business logic flaws in that a threat actor can cause the application to perform unintended actions. However, the issue's root cause is how the web application processes requests, making it possible to cause the race condition. For example, if we send the same coupon request several times simultaneously, it might be possible to apply it more than once. For the rest of this attack, we will focus on race conditions. We will take a look at time of check to time of use, which is TOC, flaw. Let's use a example to explain this as shown in the animation below. So once again, review this animation, see what they're talking about here. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on here. So when the user submits their coupon code in the actual code of the web application at some point, we perform a check that the coupon is valid and hasn't been used before. We apply the discount and only then do we update the coupon code to indicate that it has already been used. In this example, between our check if the coupon is valid and our update of the coupon being used, there are a couple of milliseconds where we apply the coupon. While this might seem small, if a director can send two requests so close together in time, it might happen that before the coupon is updated in request 1, it has already been checked in request 2, meaning that both requests will apply the coupon, winning the race. Now that you understand basic concepts related to race conditions, let's explore how this vulnerability occurs in a real-world scenario. For this, we will take the example of the wearable banking application hosted here. The application also uses the application allows users to log in and transfer funds between accounts. As you can see here, I already have the website open, intercepting the request. Before we start intercepting a request, we need to configure the environment so that as a pen tester, all web traffic from our browser is routed through Burp Suite. This allows us to see and manipulate the request as we browse. We will use Burp Suite, a powerful web vulnerability scanner, to intercept and modify requests for this exploitation. You can access Burp Suite in the attack box on the desktop of your attack box. You will see a Burp Suite icon, and already have it started up, as you can see here. So click on that, and now we are in the beginning stages of starting this. So once you click the icon, Burp Suite will open with an introductory screen. You will see a message like "Welcome to Burp Suite." Click on the next button. Okay. On the next screen, you will see an option for Start Burp. Click on the Start Burp button to start the tool. So it's starting up right now. Once Burp Suite has started, you will see its main interface with different tabs such as Proxy, Intruder, Repeater, and others. All right. Okay. And if you've been following my videos, you know exactly how this looks. Inside Burp Suite, click the Settings tab in the top right. So let's see, click this X out here, and then Settings tab, top right. You will see Burp's browser option available under Tools. Okay, and there we go, Burp's browser. It says allow Burp's browser to run without a sandbox. There we go. And then click the Close button at the top right of the settings. So close it out of here. All right, so we're done, and here's a bigger picture of what they're talking about here. Okay. After allowing the Burp or after allowing the browser to run without a sandbox, we should now be able to start the browser with the pre-configured Burp Suite proxy. Open the browser by clicking the Open Browser located in the Proxy Intercept. So we're going to flip over to Proxy, Intercept, Open Browser right there. And then we're going to go to the website so that all requests are intercepted, okay? So let's see how long this takes to open up. I know last time we tried to use this, it was a little bit slow opening. But here we go, okay? Just once you browse the URL, all the requests are intercepted and can be seen under the proxy HTTP tab, okay? And we need to go back in here and turn intercept off so that it doesn't get caught up here. But you can see an HTTP history there. So let's see. Let me get back into the browser. And I just had it open, didn't I? Okay. Minimize that. There it is down here. See, I don't use this browser very much, you can tell. Application scanning. As a penetration tester, one key step in identifying race conditions is to validate functions involving multiple transactions or operations that interact with shared resources, such as transferring funds between accounts, reading and writing to a database, updating balances inconsistently, etc. For this example, we will log in to whatever banking application using the following creds. So let's go and do that. 110 and then tester. Okay, there we go, logging in. All right, now we're logged in. Once you log in, you will see the following dashboard that will contain the following two primary functions. So we got balance up here, right? Okay, the transfer money and the amount to transfer. Okay, you will see two functionalities: log out, which probably does not involve simultaneous task. The next is fund transfer, which includes deducting funds from the account and adding them to the other account. As a pen tester, this could be an opportunity for an attack. We will see in detail as a pen tester, you can test/exploit the vulnerability. Okay, verifying the fund transfer functionality. We will browse the bank application and perform a sample transaction inside the browser. This will generate multiple get and post requests, and whatever request we make will be passed through the burp suite. As shown in the figure, our current balance is $1,000. We will send 500 to another account, and we will, or with the account number 111. And while doing that, all our requests will be captured in Burp Suite. So let's go ahead and do that here. Account number is 111, and we'll transfer 500 bucks. Okay, click the transfer button. You will see the following message indicating that the account has been, or the amount has been transferred. Okay, so we have the same thing here. Yep. Now let's review the fund transfer HTTP post request logged in the Burp Suite's HTTP history option under the proxy tab. So flip back over here, take a look at HTTP history. Whoops. Okay, history. There we go. And we need to look at this transfer one. So we're talking about here. Okay. Let's see if I can raise this up a little bit. All right. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can see account number and amount as they have highlighted in this image here. Okay. All right. Says the above figure shows that transfer endpoint accepts a post request with parameters accounts underscore number and amount. The Burp Suite tool has a feature known as repeater that allows you to send multiple HTTP requests. We will use this feature to duplicate our HTTP post request and send it multiple times to exploit the race condition vulnerability. Right click on the post request and click on send to repeater. So we're already in here, right click it and send to repeater. You can also do it up here. So flip over to repeater. There we go. Okay. And this is what they're talking about here. Now navigate to repeater tab where you will find a post request that needs to be triggered multiple times. We can change the account number from 111 and the amount value from 500 to another value in the request as well as shown in this image here. Okay. All right. It says place the mouse cursor inside the request, inside the repeater tab in Burp Suite and press Control R to duplicate the tab. All right, so Control plus R, there we go, tab's duplicated. It says you need to do it 10 times, okay? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well, 10, okay. We got 10 in there now. And there we go. All right, now that we have 10 requests ready, we want to send them simultaneously. While one option is to manually click send button in each tab individually, we aim to send them all in one parallel. To do this, click the plus icon next to the request number 10, okay, and select create tab group. Now this will allow us to group all the requests together for easier management and execution in the panel, okay? After clicking create tab group, a dialog box will appear asking you to name the group and select the request to include. For the example, we will name the group funds. So let's do the same thing, funds. Select all the requests and then click the create button. So go through and click all these. Oops, I missed one. Okay. Got them all. All right, and then we're going to click this create button like so. There it is. Now we are ready to launch multiple copies of our HTTP post request simultaneously to exploit the erase condition vulnerability. Select Send Group in Parallel Last Byte Sync in the drop down next to Send button. Okay. And here we go, Last Byte Sync. Okay. Once selected, the Send button will change to Send Group Parallel. Click the button to send all the duplicated requests in our tab at the same time as shown below. So this is what it looks like. Okay. All right, sending. Once all the requests have been sent, navigate to the tester account in the browser and check the current balance. You will notice that the tester's balance is negative because we successfully transferred more funds than were available in the account, exploiting the race condition vulnerability. So let's go ahead and check the browser here and see, refresh. There we go, negative 4,500. Awesome. It says by duplicating 10 requests and sending them in parallel, we are instructing the system to make 10 simultaneous requests, each deducting 500 from the tester account and sending it to account 111. In a correctly implemented system, the application should have processed the first request, locked in the database, and processed the remaining requests individually. However, due to the race condition, the application handles these requests abruptly, resulting in a negative balance in the tester account and an inflated balance in accounts 111. All right, now it says verifying through source code. Suppose you are in a penetration test with access to the application source code as in a white box testing scenario. In that case, you can identify potential race condition vulnerabilities through a code review. By analyzing the code, you can pinpoint areas where multiple database operations are performed without proper transaction handling. Below is the Python code that handles the fund transfer. All right, so there it is here. Okay, so let's go ahead and read into the explanation. In the above code, if user balance greater than or equal to amount, the application first updates the recipient's balance with the command update user set balance equals balance plus question mark, where account number equals question mark, followed by a commit. Then it updates the sender's balance using update user set balance equal balance minus a question mark, where account number equals question mark, and it commits again. Since these updates are committed separately and not part of a single atomic transaction, there's no locking or proper synchronization between these operations. This lack of transaction or locking mechanism makes the code vulnerable to race conditions, as concurrent requests could interfere with the balance updates. Time for some action. Now that you understand the vulnerability, can you assist Glitch in validating it using the account number 101 and password Glitch? Attempt to exploit the vulnerability by transferring over $2,000 from his account to the account number 111. Fixing the race. The developer did not properly handle concurrent requests in the bank's application, leading to a race condition vulnerability during fund transfers. When multiple requests were sent in parallel, each deducting and transferring funds, the application processed them simultaneously without ensuring proper synchronization. This resulted in inconsistent account balances, such as negative balances in the sender's account and excess funds in the recipient's account. Here are some of the preventative measures to fix the race. Use atomic transactions. The developer should have implemented atomic database transactions to ensure that all steps of a fund transfer, deducting and crediting balances are performed at a single unit. This would ensure that either all steps of the transaction succeed or none do, preventing partial updates that could lead to an inconsistent state. Implementing mutex locks. By using mutex locks, the developer could have ensured that only one thread accesses the shared resources, such as the account balance, at a time. This would prevent multiple requests from interfering with each other during the concurrent transactions. And then apply rate limits. The developer should have implemented rate limiting on critical functions like funds transfers and withdrawals. This would limit the number of requests processed within a specific time frame, reducing the risk of abuse through rapid, repeated requests. After completing this exercise, you will be required to visit this here to get the flag. So let's go ahead and get, oh, well, already in it. So let's go ahead and try to get that flag here. We've got some questions as well. So go ahead and try to answer these questions. Try to get the flag yourself. Come back to the video and we will continue on. All right, let's take a look here. It says, what's the flag value after transferring over $2,000 from Glitch's account? Now, if we scroll back up here, this is the information we need to use. It says, assist Glitch in validating it using the account number 101 and password Glitch. So we'll sign in with the information 101, and then Glitch. Okay, we're signing in, and you can see there's 2,000 there. Welcome, Glitch. It says, attempt to exploit the vulnerability by transferring over $2,000 from his account to the account number 111. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's try this again. Transfer. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go in here and look at this transfer. Make sure to select the right one, which is this here. Send this over to repeater. Jump over to repeater. There it is. Now we need to do that group again. So let's go ahead and Control R. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we should have 10 requests here. Plus line, create group. Let's do funds 1, or I don't know, funds 4 there. So go ahead and select everything. Okay. There we go. Create. Okay, looks good. Drop down here. Send group in parallel. Last byte sync. So that's selected. Looks good. And then let's do send. It should have gone through. Okay, let's go ahead and check and see if it worked. Refresh. Negative 9,000. There we go. Got it. So there's the flag. So that's it for that. Plug this in. We're done. So if you enjoyed this task, feel free to check out the race conditions room. So check that out if you want to learn more about race conditions. Where balances shift and numbers soar, look for an entry and open door. Awesome. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel with that notification bell so you know every time I post or upload a video. And as always, thank you all for taking the time to watch my video. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next one.